welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo, episode 11. Oh,
All
boy.
right, well, we've got ourselves a Villefort, and he's upset, and his daughter's being taken out of his house.
For getting poisoned, and
Yep.
oh boy.
And will he be able to listen to them? Will Franz be able to actually convince him? Like,
what will Albert do when he shows up? And what's the whole situation now that the Count killed the investigator and left the body there
for all three
of them to see? It's kind of like a calling card, but Villefort hasn't necessarily told everybody.
Exactly, Villefort hasn't told them that he was investigating that. So this is dicey. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Well, or it could be broken off for him, if you know what I mean. Oh, wow. That sly little smile.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, was that blood? Did she get poisoned herself?
Heloise! Heloise!
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, maybe.
Wow, firing right by your son.
Oh, shit.
Ah!
Get out of the way!
Block the road. Nice. Wow!
Okay.
That was so perfect.
Yeah.
So convenient, but like, wow. So they got away. That was easy then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So they're on a train. They're out of Paris. Let's go.
That was much better than I thought it was.
Yeah, I saw him coming up to them with a gun in the last episode.
Shit. And then all of a sudden his wife collapses. Like. Generally.
It is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The book.
Oh, yeah.
You would not know what they did, basically.
Right.
And so it just keeps building that tension.
隠さないで。エドモンから手紙が来たんでしょ。
ただのくだらんいたずらだ。
ただのいたずらで、そんな名前がどうして？
俺にもわからんよ。
エドモンは反逆罪に問われて宇宙の果てで死んだはずでしょ。それは違うの？
あいつは牢獄で死んだんだろ。お前はまだ20年前のことを忘れられずにいるのか。お前はこの20年間あの男のことをずっと思い続けてきたのか。お前はあの男をまだ愛しているのか。
Shit.
私は彼が死んだって聞いたから。
Yeah.
死んだと聞いたからなんだ。死んだと聞いたから諦めて俺と結婚したのか。
Oh shit.
おい！
もうやめて。
Oh, you can see the guilt on her, like the.
And
he doesn't want to punish her. He's just, he's weighed with his own guilt, and now the terror of it could be back to haunt you, dude.
Right. Oh shit.
Oh,
it muttered all that.
植物性の毒で今特定を急いでいます。
Oh.
Can't stay here forever.
Nope.
I'll find you.
Franz.
Oh, is that their signal for let's meet?
どうしたんだよ。
お前こそ来てるとは思わなかった。
手紙読む？
誰から？マクシミリアン。
Oh, okay, cool. Letting them know what's up.
几帳面な字だな。
お前と違ってな。今頃自分のしでかしたことに慌ててんだろ。
Yeah, he's a simple boy. Yeah.
バランティーヌの今の母上、エロイーズさんってどんな人だった？
Oh, wow.
若くて綺麗で聡明な人だったよ。
そうだよな。俺もそう思ってた。
お前温室でビルフォール夫人と伯爵を見たって言ってたな。
だから
大戸湯でお前の話を聞いた時からずっと引っかかってたんだ。そのことが
何が言いたいんだよ。
伯爵の不倫相手がどうして彼女なんだ。俺には狙いを定めて近づいていったとしか思えない。
Ah, you're so smart, Franz.
Yeah, it's gonna get you killed.
もしかして伯爵を真犯人だって言いたいのか。信じられねえよ。伯爵がいなかったら俺は今ここにいなかったかもしれないんだぞ。
解毒剤を都合よく持ち合わせている人間なんてパリ中探してもそうはいないぜ。医者だって無理だ。
じゃあお前は俺を救えたのか。救えなかっただろう。伯爵があそこにいてくれたから俺は助かったんだ。
わからない。でも感じるんだ。
何をさ。
深い闇を。
Yeah.
邪魔したな。
アルベール、よく見ろ。伯爵の本当の姿を。
フランズ、俺はあの人を信じる。
As he enters the
伯
darkness.
爵の本当の姿を知ってるのはこの俺だ。
But that's all been fabricated to give you a nice little image. Oh. That was a nice little like touch. They didn't have to have that there. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
She's a specter. Ugh.
私どうなっていたのか記憶が飛んでて。
そうか。
Wow, she's really doing a good job at this.
Yeah.
まだ気だるさが抜けないわ。
それは毒のせいではないのか。いつその指輪を伯爵にもらった。
Wow.
何なの。一体何の話をなさっているの。
では質問。
Oh, he's in investigator mode now.
そんなもの知りません。
お前の宝石箱から出てきたということは香水か。
知らない。私のじゃないわ。
妻が毒殺魔だなんて世間に知れたら私がこれまで築いてきたものはどうなる。
Finished.
お前の計画はまだ終わってないんだろ。答えろ。あと何人殺したい。
Wow.
この私
Damn.
はお前の感情の中に入っているのか。
そうよ。あなたも殺すつもり
Wow,
だったわ。
Just saying it.
Yep.
これ以上私に向かってそんな口を聞いてごらんなさい。ここで死んでやるから。外面を一番大切にする判事様がこんなスキャンダルはないわね。
Oh.
あなたまさか。
どうした飲まんのか。
Oh my god.
God damn.
明日の朝お前は病院に移送される。鉄格子のついた個室を用意しておいた。少々窮屈かもしれんがそこで一生を終えるがいい。毒と共にな。
Oh no. Oh no. She's losing it.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Ah.
誰よりも伯爵の本当の姿を知ってるのは俺だ。伯爵。
いやあ、アルベールさん、ご機嫌いかがですか。
伯爵こそ随分お元気そうで。ビルフォール夫人は心を病んでしまい、なぜビルフォール家はあんなことになってしまったのか、伯爵はどう思われますか。
必然ですよ。この世に偶然などはありません。我々はあの日ルナで知り合いました。あなたはそれを偶然と感じているかもしれません。しかし運命には偶然などは存在しない。
Is he actually telling him this?
あの沈む日が大宇宙の法則であるように、私には強い意志の力があります。
Oh shit.
人が偶然
Okay.
を受け入れ、
Calm down,
それに
man.
翻弄されてしまうことがあろうとも、
Oh my
私は
god.
違う。
伯爵、僕は変わりたいんです。あなたのような 強い人。
Gotcha.
Cool.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, yeah.
この言葉を捧げましょう。
Because this will, yeah.
待て。しかして希望せよ。
Oh man.
Patience is
Necessary. Depending on the tone, like that could be a great lesson, or that
Yeah.
could be very super ominous and chilling.
何バカみたいな顔して座ってるのよ。
Wait,
Wow.
is he gonna break up with Eugenie?
大したことないみたい。あれからずっと不機嫌だけど。
Oh yeah, I think
I think he
will.
is.
Yeah.
今度オペラ座でオーケストラと一緒にピアノ。
Oh, good for you.
She's actually enthusiastically sharing.
Yeah, she's happy about it. Yeah.
私のピアノが認められたのよ。
I didn't read it quickly enough, but.
必ず聞きに来て。
本当にすごいや。この前のオート湯での演奏。
Oh.
なんていうか、すごく良かったよ。
本当に分かったの？ 嬉しい。
Okay.
Okay.
ありがとう。
Oh, Gankutsuou. Wait.
Okay.
What is Franz investigating?
お花が届いております。
Wow.
アンドレア・カバルカンティ。
Oh, the pretty boy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Making a big move here.
Yeah.
ただいま帰
Talk,
りました
talk。to folks now.
Mm-hmm.
どうした？
Oh, are they calling it off?
これを見なさい。ダングラールがユージェニーとお前の婚
Okay.
約を
Yep.
破談にしたいそうだ。
Sorry, my boy.
Well,
You slept on this a bit too much. Yeah.
but I get the feeling. I get the feeling that was more a Papa Danglar decision.
It was 100% Papa
Yeah.
Danglar's decision. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Oh my
Albert
God.
is set on his
Wow.
path now at like the halfway point of the show
Yep.
to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Because he needs it. Now, the
That's
problem is that he's going to put himself solely at the table of the Count, if you will, supping specifically from his wisdom, which means Albert is practically a weapon at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Just
absolutely.
no subtlety.
Yep.
Like Albert goes where the Count needs him, and there's no coincidence here. You are at the behest of the hand of fate, my friend.
and
And
hopefully
I am God, moving you, the hand of God, like into where you need to be.
Yep. And maybe he'll realize once Franz is killed.
Yeah. Like,
You know?
like, there's a certain list
Like-
of characters that are close to Albert that I'm just like, he doesn't know. He
Like
doesn't
as soon as the whole thing with Gankutsuou, popped up for Franz, I was
the
like,
timer started counting. Yeah.
yeah, I mean the timer started counting like a
The
while
timer started
back.
counting a while back.
Like
but-
almost since episode 1, but like now it's like, okay, now the timer is turning red and flashing. Like
Yeah.
you're down to the last few minutes. But
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's
yeah.
it's. I love the development though with the Villeforts.
That was great.
So, I again this middle part in the book is something that I don't really remember that well, but the fact that he not only found out rather quickly that she's
Yep.
the one poisoning.
He's chief prosecutor. Like he's got a good
He
head
has
on
a
his shoulders
good
for
head on his
sniffing out
shoulders.
stuff.
He can sniff out the bullshit, and he can also tell when something in his environment that's new.
Yep.
So when he sees the Count, enter, and he kind of goes, you stink of bad money or something like that, or
Right.
whatever.
When the Count leaves his calling card.
Yeah, exactly. And then he goes, okay, panic now. The Count
right.
is trying to ruin me in some way.
Yep.
Probably because he found out that I was investigating him by killing this guy.
Yep.
So this reveal where
Yeah.
he's like, oh no, are you only good at killing other people?
You're not going to
Do
drink it? Yeah.
Do it. Like, what? Do you think I'll
Guy's-
be phased
This
by
guy's
this?
a cold son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Like,
he...
as far as as far as the most like, I feel like, and granted, I don't have a great recollection of the book, but you know, the differences from my impressions from the book versus like this show, I love this Villefort. Like,
Yes.
it's compelling to watch because you know, with the revenge story, you want the people that the revenge is being done on to feel detestable. Well, at least if you're going to be rooting for the revenge to be done, right? If they're not, then it's more of the
tragedy
shit,
of someone
right?
getting
You know,
consumed by revenge.
exactly, right.
Then we need a lot more first-person perspectives on the Count,
Right.
which we don't have.
Which
so
we don't
this
have.
is something that we'll probably get more of. Not necessarily first person, but more internal, close perspectives as Albert gets closer and closer to the Count. But that's more of probably the last quarter of the show.
Right. And I love that I get the feeling that she didn't intend to poison herself. That was something that the Count did because she had the ring on her finger. There could just as easily have been like a second little thing that stuck her finger.
Yeah, what I think it's up in the air a little bit, but there was a slight little showing of the potential that the ring itself might be remotely activated. And in that moment, the blade went and just stuck her.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, you did your duty.
Right. Which
issues.
is interesting because since the Count told her poison your husband, I thought that's what the goal was going to be.
Right.
But and this is what makes the Count of Monte Cristo great as in sort of a timeless epic as far as revenge stories go, is that he doesn't want to kill them. Killing them would be easy, right? With the amount of power and influence he has, he could easily get someone
to just
blow their brains out, right?
Exactly.
You know, but
easy.
that's not as satisfying, right? You have to have foreplay before the final event, right? And he doesn't want to kill them. He wants to break them.
And he wants them to know that
it was him, and then eventually kill them.
Right.
Right? When they are almost begging for it, right? When they want it to happen.
Maybe even let them live if he can.
Sure.
Like if they pose so little of a threat at that point, he could maybe find a way to have them not die.
Exactly.
So that they live out the same suffering that he did in Chateau d'If. So I'm really, really excited to see where they diverge things in that regard, because that's probably where I have the most book knowledge is the endings for these three guys.
And that's where I think this is the first like really big divergence that wasn't inherently tied to the fact that it was a sci-fi, you know? Like because this was not how Madame Villefort was resolved, right? Like,
well, I don't think she's resolved necessarily. Like, do you wanna go out on a limb here and say that there's a possibility that Villefort made a mistake by saying that this is what's going to happen, but then not actually doing anything about it immediately?
Although
if she gets that desperate.
I get the feeling though that since he knows that she's the poisoner and all that stuff and all of that, like, I don't think she'll be able to put one over on him. Now, the Count could orchestrate something so that she does.
Well, okay. Putting one over on him doesn't mean just killing him.
Okay.
All she has to do is just clear her head for a second. And if she uses just her words, she can do insane amounts of damage.
Sure, she finds a reporter or something like that, and it's like, hey, let me give you the scoop.
Yeah, my husband is forcing me to poison people.
Sure. And even if it's something where he manipulates things to have her deemed insane or something like that,
she's fighting back.
She's no worse off, but yeah, she still kicks him in the dick when she goes down.
She kicks him pretty hard in the dick, potentially,
Yeah.
because that could be a scandal that doesn't go away immediately. Now, the main problem is that because she has Edouard, she has no leverage on him, and he has all the leverage comparatively.
Yep.
Now, she does have the leverage, but all he has to do is put a little bit of pressure on Edouard, and she's done.
Yeah.
She's done. So I really feel for her in that respect.
I could be wrong, but I don't think Edouard would do well under pressure.
No, of course not. I'm more talking about the idea of just psychological pressure to Madame Villefort.
I wasn't saying that fully seriously.
Okay, cool.
But
with Albert, though, he is all in on the Count, though.
Like the Count was this close to straight up having like an evil monologue, and Albert's like, that's awesome.
Wow.
I wish I could be more like you.
I wish I could be like
you.
And
I love it because that's the vampire charm, right? Like the idea that he's in his head, right? And now he's so enraptured by the Count that even though everything is staring him straight in the face, basically, and Franz is like, he's bad news and stuff. Like,
the glamour be too strong, the allure, and also in some ways the goodwill done to him via the Count.
Yeah.
This is something that is rather odd, I would say, and it's quite a fun thing that they might get into with Albert of how selfish he is in some ways. But if you think about Eugenie and that whole incident, there is something where, well, he doesn't really like her. Doesn't really have any crazy excitement about their engagement.
Sure, not burning passion, but I
Right.
think he's
There's maybe some reasons for
starting.
that,
Oh, sure.
But also, that's an element of where, if you think about it from her perspective, she doesn't necessarily want to be in this situation either.
Although,
you guys could have maybe bonded over that.
Well, and it seemed like they were starting to with the awesome thing that he said to her. I can't remember what it was, but of hey, let's run away together, right? And then when she told him about the thing, she seemed excited, and not just excited in this is a cool thing that happened, but I specifically want you to know about this cool thing that happened.
Albert's a good boy, and he would never rain on anyone's parade if they were excited about something.
Oh, totally.
He's the kind of guy that will cheer you on. Always. So I think that she came to him with that thing of you're the person that I would like to be the closest to in my life.
Right.
But we're not close. So I'm going to use this as a way to be hey, can we connect over this? I would love to have you be there and share with this because we're probably going to be together forever.
Right.
One of us,
let's make the most of it.
Whatever. Let's make the most of it. Yeah, except the Count, not the Count, but Albert has not really been thinking of her much at all. He's actually kind of selfish in that regard.
When he does think about her, he does a pretty good job, of acknowledging her feelings and things like that, and trying to
really. I think he's kind of a manlet in that regard.
When he does.
When did he do that? The one time of run away,
and.
I don't think so, dude. I think there's a difference between acknowledging someone's existence and acknowledging someone's feelings.
What is their connection? But I was going to put on that is that he just doesn't do it hardly at all, right? When he does, it's not bad.
I would say in some ways though that means he basically doesn't do it at all, because when it comes to their relationship, they don't have one. They don't.
Yeah.
So it's apropos that another guy would come in and basically say, no, I'm going to basically provide a much more alluring alternative.
Especially for the dad's point of view.
And from the dad's point of view, here's the thing that's a big deal. Not only is Cavalcanti going to be a much more lucrative, potentially, deal there, but it also provides Danglars an out where he can slowly start to separate himself from the trio.
Yep.
And Danglars, being an investing guy, he could definitely see when a ship is...
this stock's about to turn negative.
Exactly. So he's starting to cash in, basically, on all that stuff and be like, I'm going to push those kind of things away.
Turns out you are...
actually right, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But the ship that you might be jumping to is...
already been bought,
Yeah. Basically.
So I'm really excited how that goes, because I think it will be a way to force Albert to grow up and accept a lot of his failings, if you will.
No, this story is definitely going to result in Albert growing up. The question is what portions of the story will that happen in? How much will he lose along the way?
Yeah.
And
right.
How much time will he have in whatever his grown-up state is before the show ends or his show ends?
2 episodes. That's my guess. 2 episodes. Yeah. And that'll be after 3 or 4 episodes of Franz being dead.
Well, and that's why I think it's Albert's a dumbass. But he's a 16-year-old dumbass.
He's a sweet dumbass.
And for 16, he's not doing terribly.
And there's also the whole point of things of him being in the aristocracy, so you can see how, if you look at Edouard, for instance, that is an example of
how bad it can get.
Getting basically everything they want and having that fostered.
And to be fair to Albert, he has a lot bigger things to deal with than is the relationship with my fiancé strong right now.
Yep, that's very true.
Wait, hold on. What kind of crazy, shady shit have my parents been getting up to? I'm learning all this stuff. I have no constants in my life other than the Count, and not even really Franz anymore, because, you know, he's like, all right, thanks, bye.
He's basically doing the choose me or the Count kind of thing.
Right.
In Albert's mind.
Yep.
Now, this is an important thing to bring up, though, is that's not what Franz is doing.
Nope, not at
He's
all.
basically saying, just look, man. Be reasonable.
Smell the
Look
roses.
around.
Yeah.
Stop being so tunnel visioned in this specific way.
And the only other person I would say that he kind of sort of maybe has that he can trust is Eugenie, simply because their relationship, while kind of non-existent, you know, hasn't had any strain put on it up until now. And this is where
it had plenty of strain.
No, not like I would push back on that, because I wouldn't see it as really a strain so much as just the lack of relationship, right?
Right, but I think every time she came there and was like, I'm going to hang out with your mom other than you, that was kind of a thing of saying, man up, dude. Like, come on. What is your deal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like this, but, like, at least, like, show me that you're going to, like, make something of this.
And now that there is this clear-cut moment where basically it's like, all right, well, now it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe Albert will actually be forced to do something, because if he's totally
the Count will use him to get into the Danglars family now.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it'll be something where Albert will have to finally realize, okay, not being engaged to Eugenie, am I okay with that?
Yeah,
he might be. You know,
I think he's totally okay with that.
But on the other hand, he might be like, well,
but Eugenie's feelings.
Well, hold on. Does she want this?
You
know, yeah, exactly.
And then I want her at some point to slap Albert and be like, when did you ever care about my feelings? And he's going to be like, oh, shit. Yeah. Because the perfect picture of the awkward, fumbling, doesn't know what they're doing or getting into romance is Maximilian and Valentine.
Yes.
They're the ones that have no idea how to handle this whole crazy world.
Their worlds are very simple right now, which helps.
They're not doing it the right way, quote unquote, by society's standards. But they're going to find something, you know, beautiful in this whole mess.
Thankfully, they don't really have anything distracting them at this moment.
That's part of the reason
it's
why.
It's literally we have to run away and survive,
Paris.
And there you go, right? Yeah.
So, okay, we are here. Andrea Cavalcanti has made his move, and the Count is betting on both horses here. Well, sorry, the Count owns all the horses. Pun intended with the other horse, you know?
Yep,
The race is beginning, and he doesn't have to choose.
He's just sipping on cocktails and eating popcorn, you know?
Yeah, in some ways, I'm really, really impressed by how much just sending the body back has divided all of them.
Yeah, I thought it might have actually unified them.
I thought it would have, yeah.
Shit, fuck. Like, all right, we're all in this together. We're on the sinking ship, and so help me God, if any of you try and do anything stupid,
it might rebound back if Villefort basically, like, this is a dark way to put it, but if he writes things in his house, he might actually then go, okay, I'm secure, but wait a minute, those two guys could also end me.
My immediate future is secure, so now let's work on stabilizing the long term.
So he then goes, I need the two of you as allies. We all can end each other. That's guaranteed.
Right. Mutually assured destruction.
We have too much to lose. The Count is an enemy. I don't know what he is. I don't know who he is.
But they know that one, he knows that they're potentially antagonistic towards him. He has a connection to Edmond Dantes because the person that was investigating him was there at Edmond Dantes' funeral.
Right.
You know, so
now, what could be the case, and I just realized this is a way that they could interpret this, is that Edmond is their skeleton and it's being dangled in front of them in a blackmailing kind of way.
Right. I know your secret.
I know your secret. It doesn't mean that I am Edmond Dantes or connected to him. But Fernand, if he starts to sense a little bit of certain things coming from Mercedes, he might be able to suss out, wait a minute. Well, and a little bit of something more.
Regardless, it's something where if the Count is dangling that in front of them, he is making enemies of all of them equally, right? And that's something where then it's like, okay,
it's just,
what are you gonna do?
Does he love this part of the game where he's like, oh, I'm so close to being discovered?
Yeah, it's perfect.
So
yeah.
He's
edging himself out.
Right. And then just like, I'm gonna make them get close to the answer, and then they'll separate.
Sure.
And then get close to the answer, and then they'll separate. And in that, constant bit there. I will just have
and that's kind of what's happening with Danglars, right? It's the I don't want to be associated with the Morcerf family necessarily, and hey, here's a convenient out, it seems.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
like
I'm excited.
As far as which one gets the comeuppance, Danglars I think is the one that I'm not the least excited about because he's a scumbag and I want to see him get his just desserts. But as far as like for how it happens, because I feel like he's the easiest to manipulate because he's so damn greedy. Like
you remember what happens in the books, right? In the book, right? Like
I don't.
Okay, good. I won't say that.
Yeah.
I just say yeah.
But we already changed things up with Villefort, so
right. I particularly liked how Danglars gets beaten in the book.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go out that way here. That's the thing, is that yeah.
And I will say,
Villefort's weirdly the one that I actually remember the least about.
That was the one I remembered the most because I loved the thing with the grandpa. That was so sweet. And okay, and by the way, if you're curious, you're like, okay, I love this show, right? But you're like, how did it happen in the book? Well, it's a long ass book, but
very long book,
but it's a timeless classic for a reason.
Yes, Yes, it is. It is in some ways made to be an even longer form show than this.
Oh yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why they changed the thing with Villefort is because no, we don't have time for that shit. We have places to go, and
yeah, they chopped a lot out.
Two core, that's short.
Yeah. It is necessary, but it's oh man, yeah, I'm really excited too because I feel like this count lives a lot more dangerously than the count in the book.
Yeah.
Like the count in the book is like, no. You have zero chance of
cold calculating and
I'm way too misdirected in this. Like I'm using a thing of a thing of a thing of a thing to get to you.
Right.
And in this, he's just like, no. It's
I
just
like
2 degrees.
Danger.
It's 2 degrees here.
Right.
Everything is right there in plain sight if you look.
Basically, the original material is like the equivalent of around 11 light novels. So if you're like for adaptation and about how that
usually are.
About 200 pages usually. So
then 11 light novels.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon for anime to be like 6 episodes to the light novel, So the fact that we're getting this in just 2 core,
this could be a 7 core
damn
anime,
impressive.
Basically.
So, yeah.
But y'all,
oh boy.
Okay, this is really really good. So yeah, all right. I think the last little thing I want to mention here is that if Franz is searching up info that could get him into stuff regarding the Count, and this is called Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
We still don't know what Gankutsuou is.
I think it was the whole idea of the vampire nature.
Yes, I'm with you.
And that's what it seemed to be. So at the very least, he's.
But that's the thing. It is something that if he's finding it out independent of the Count, like it's not that he just went and Googled Count of Monte Cristo and Gankutsuou came up. It's more like he's looking into something else.
He saw the thing on his forehead.
The holographic pseudo image of sorts that came over his face that reminded me of something from some other material or media. It's like a mask, but okay, I will draw the comparison here.
Okay.
In Final Fantasy XIV, the characters that are kind of like the Illuminati, like dark shadowed kind of ones there, they channel their power through these masks that are holographic above their faces that are unique based on who they are.
Okay.
And if this is something like that, where it's like, this is like my form, identity, and my power in one kind of visual, I really want to know what the Count is then, because he's not a vampire then. Like,
it's complicated.
He's something else. Like,
yeah,
vampire might just be their shorthand.
Sure.
To make it just we threw out that name
because that's what it seems the most similar
episode 2.
To.
Like that was early. No, but what he
it makes me think
is,
Third Eye, right? Because there are like
totally
there are a lot of things that I don't know. Yeah, like Because there's things of like him not showing up in pictures and stuff like that.
Well, that's
and,
vampire
like,
stuff.
Right.
Again, I think that's the thing, is that the vampire stuff is like the obvious bit.
But it's but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. And I think that's the whole thing.
He's a nano vampire,
No, I really think that there could be something in that, because of not just that, but remember he had the stuff on his arm and his hand and stuff.
And the Chateau d'If was very much experimenting on him somehow. So yeah.
So yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.